D-Roy Cruz here, your life applications officer. I'm sorry, don't like to eat on camera, but I gotta eat this Twinkie. I've been dying to get home and have a Twinkie. This is a chocolate Twinkie with peanut butter in it. It's been on my mind all day. I think processed Twinkies have that gummy taste to them. I mean, they taste good, but they have a little bit of gum in them that keeps them from being completely cakey and soft, like, this, devil's food taste and feel. It's a Hostess though, so it's good. That cheered me up a little bit. Probably have another one in a few minutes. But anyway, I'm going to put this on my Big D channel because this is a social video. Most of my videos, well, all my videos are Christian, but this video here is a social video. This video here is about the social world that we live in. And what we go through because of other people's human frailty. So let me get to it. Let me get right to it. Today I had a situation. Now, I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but today I had a situation. And I want you to think about something, okay? But today I had this situation where, as you can see, I do security. And I was cutting through the hospital today, came out of the ER, cut through the main lobbies, was going past the main elevators. And this guy stopped me. And he said, "Sir, I have to ask you a question." He's trying to be funny. He's being derogatory. He says, "I have to ask you, how tall are you?" And at first, I thought it was kind of cute. Maybe it was supposed to be kind of cute. I don't know. But I looked at him and smiled and I says, "That's confidential information." He's like, "Oh, come on." So then I realized he's trying to show off. For some reason, he felt a need to insult me about my height. Now, you can make a comment, let me know how I should have dealt with that. They say that nice guys finish last, and I am a victim of letting people take things to the next level until the ultimate end turns into violence, or the ultimate end turns into somebody having to stand before the boss and everybody has to be reprimanded about acting like children. And it all started with someone not being able to keep their hands off me, or someone refusing to show any respect for me in a social setting or in a setting of communicating with other workers on the job, or the setting of showing me how to do something. Every job I've ever had, there's been always some wise behind, jerk, who always wanted to take shots at me. And it's always usually people that are younger, in their 30s and under. And in my job right now that I have, there is people who joke around with me, and they constantly, every day, it's the same thing. I come to work, and I walk in the office, and they have a short joke for me. It's always, and my height is 5'3.5". I'm not quite a midget yet. I've tripped over some people smaller than me that wasn't quite midgets either. Okay? But to these guys, they just can't get over the fact that I'm 5'3.5". It's like I walk into the room and it's like, stop. He's only 5'3.5". We gotta pick on him. We gotta get it into his thick skull. Dude, do you realize that you're only 5'3"? It's so important to everybody for me to get it into my thick skull that I'm only 5'3". Like it's illegal or something to be 5'3". It's like walking into a room with a joint in my hand, me being 5'3". It's like me walking into a room with a joint. Weed on house, baby. You know what I'm saying? We smoke weed up here. What's the problem? Dude, what are you doing? And that's the way people address me. When I walk into a room, like, there you are, you little short bastard. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know they tell me that they do it because they like me. If they didn't like me, they wouldn't joke around with me so much. Like I need them to tell me that. But when you do it every day, and it's like you can't help yourself, that tells me we not only have a problem with you taking me seriously, but we have a problem in the culture. We have a problem with you having respect for certain people. Now, let me be frank with you. I am not lacking confidence. I do not have short man syndrome. I do not care about my height as much, nowhere near what people around me care about it. Like, to me, it's not a problem. I've never felt handicapped or vertically challenged, as some people like to joke around, or felt like, I've never felt depressed or anything about being short. It just, right over my head, it's never been an issue for me. But somewhere, everywhere I go, somewhere it's an issue for other people. It's like you're not being a man if you don't get up in this guy's face and punish him for being short. You're not being a woman if you treat this guy, if you be honest with this guy knowing he's short. If you don't lie to this guy, if you don't treat this guy like he is invisible. Then you're not being a woman. If you walk up on his conversation and wait for him to get done talking, there's something wrong with you. You're falling into the short world or something. You're on your short side of your brain or something. You got to show this guy in everything you do and say and the way you act around him that he is short. You cannot treat him like a normal guy. That'd be wrong. It's wrong to treat this guy like he's normal. I walk up on somebody talking, I'm like, oh, okay, excuse me. Can I chime in here a little bit? Blah, 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 blah. But I could be talking about something important. I could be talking about somebody's mama bleeding on the freaking floor in the other room. Somebody want to talk to somebody that I'm talking to, they'll come right up and just, and unless the one that I'm talking to, because he's a little bit taller, okay, unless he says, well, hold on a second, then she's not going to apologize. Women do this more than the guys do. Guys might walk up and say, and look and see what you're talking about. And then, and then decide to interrupt. But women just come right up and just shut it down. Now, maybe that's not a short thing. Maybe I just think it's a short thing because they do it to me all the time and I'm short. I don't know. You can leave me a comment and let me know what you think about that. When this guy did this today, I thought I was better than that. But it started to really bother me as I walked away. I felt that I should have been more aggressive with the guy and used my job title to throw it back at him. Let me repeat that. I felt that I should have been more aggressive with this guy instead of being such a nice guy about it. And use my job title to throw it back at him. I should have said, hey, let me ask you a question. Why are you here? Are you here in this hospital to visit a loved one? I suggest you move it along and go visit your loved one before I escort you off the property. That's what I felt I should have said. But me being a short guy who happens to also be a nice guy, and I really am a nice guy, and I love being a nice guy. I don't like taking things personal. But if you don't take things personal and you're only 5'3.5", people will keep on and keep on and keep on and keep on until you do take it personal. Last job I had, the guy went from being disrespectful to putting his hands on me to coming and slamming my stuff all over the ground floor. And to keep from fighting him in a room with a whole bunch of chemicals, I had to actually take him to the boss. And he came back, he felt that I was being a big baby. He apologized, but wait a minute, what kind of grown man, when he's trying to talk about you know, we're all sitting there at lunch and we're talking about our families. And so I talk about my family and you cut me off like I don't have a family. You say something dumb like, oh, wait a minute, you have a daughter? How tall? Please don't tell me your daughter's taller than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, one is the same height as me. Thank you, jackass. One is the same height as me. And the other one is almost as tall as her mother. Her mother is taller than me. Okay? But, you know, this guy kept on and kept on. I had jobs where, you know, I started becoming very, very, very friendly with everybody. And, you know, people thought I was funny. I had a job working for a company called Leeds. And both the guy that taught me how to do color print, he was short. Okay, this is the other part of being short that is killing me. He was short. Okay? And the guy that was the supervisor for my shift, he was short. Okay? Both of these guys, the one guy that taught me how to do color print, he would say things, he would exaggerate a lot. He would say dumb stuff like, well, I have so many toxins in my body that I could drink down a whole bottle of bleach and it wouldn't do nothing to me. Ask my doctor. That's how much toxins I have in my body. And I snickered. He never forgave me for it with his short behind. And so when he came back and I said I was having trouble with my machine, I needed his help, I got frustrated with the machine, he took it personal. I said, dude, I'm not getting frustrated with you. I'm getting frustrated with the machine because no matter what I do to fix it, no matter what you do to fix it, it keeps breaking down. Okay? But before we even got to that, the supervisor was short. He might have been an inch taller than me. I'm 5'3", he had to be 5'4", if you could even tell. He started taking shots at me. You know, coming into work and just like rushing me. How are you rushing me when I'm the first one there? Or I call into work and I apologize for being late. And I come into work and I'm rushing in there, I'm running in there. And you go after me with these insults because you can. But all these other people, you've never done that and they're late all the time. I was late one time. And I apologized on the phone and I apologized when I got there. I'm sorry I'm late, boss. Yeah. You know, he got stuff to say. And I realized where he was going. I realized what he was doing. And then he would like throw like education at me and stuff, like, you know, ask me questions and, you know, ask me derogatory questions that really weren't textbook questions. And if I answered them wrong, you know, I was a laughing stock. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't textbook questions. They were questions that he made up just to pick at me, you know. And I think one of the things that bothered him was there's this beautiful red-headed lady named Sarah. He was very beautiful to behold. And she, you know, I'm quiet. I don't pursue women because I understand that most women want, you know, and I always wondered if Sarah had a boyfriend or not. So when Sarah said something about she was getting married, this shows you the wickedness of our world. When Sarah said something, announced that she was engaged, I said, oh, girl. She thought it was charming. I said, oh, girl, lucky you told me because I was going to buy you flowers. And she thought it was so charming. She just buckled up and everybody was like, woo. And she said, you can still buy me flowers and all this kind of stuff, you know. Ever since that day, both me and my supervisor were shorter than her. She's like about 5'7", 5'8", somewhere in there, you know. Me and him got to be 5'3" and 5'4", you know. Ever since that day, and she thought it was charming. Ever since that day, he started taking shots at me because he felt like he teases with these girls all the time and nothing he does impresses them, you know. But after I did that, you know, and I'm black, Sarah's white, he's white, you know, I could throw that in there too. But, you know, I don't care. You know, she was a beautiful, lovely lady. And, you know, I knew she probably had a boyfriend. I wasn't going to be tripping. I'm not a freak, okay? I'm not a freak. I'm not a freak whether a girl is single, married, or wild, or Christian, or whatever she is. I'm not a freak. I had to tell girls that when, you know, and she thought it was charming. There was this real fine executive lady, brunette, beautiful girl. And I used to do housekeeping. And my name got mentioned, went around the YMCA because I walked into the bathroom. Well, one of the faculty members opened up their mouth about me being in the bathroom with a woman that was changing clothes. These women naturally changed clothes in front of me. I mean, not like they didn't get naked in front of me, but they would switch suits. Like they'd put on a bathing suit in front of me over their, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain. They actually would tell me it's okay to come in. I'm thinking they're dressed, and then they would actually be putting on other things on top of their underwear and stuff like that. And so, you know, in this one girl, I try to tell her all the time, I don't need to come in. Just let me know when you get done. But she always wanted to tell me, come on in, because she didn't want to hold me up. So, you know, she wanted to take her sweet time. She didn't want to hold me up. And so people would say stuff. You know, the short guy, you know, he's trying to get in there and get a feel, get a grab. You know what I'm saying? You know. And she says stuff, and I told her one day, I says, I ain't a freak. I'm young and single, and ain't nothing on me dead. I'm divorced, and ain't nothing on me dead. But I said, I ain't no freak, and she thought that was charming. You know, she blushed when I said that. I said, I ain't no freak. Me and her had a big laugh about it, you know. But the thing is, all my life, people have used my height as an excuse to mistreat me. Number one, people have used my height as a excuse to mistreat me. One time, when I was married, when my stepson at the time was 12 years old, he got into a fight with another kid. So I wanted to go over to the house and sit down and talk with the grandmother, because his real mother, I don't think, was in his life. He was being taken care of by his grandmother. And I went over to the house, and this was embarrassing. I went over to the house to talk to the grandmother. And the kid came outside to fight me. I don't know if it was the same kid because I didn't have my stepson with me, or if that was his little brother or his oldest brother or whatever. But this kid's old enough to be my son. He came outside to fight me. All we're doing, and my wife was doing all the talking. I'm just standing there. He came out there when he found out that I'm his stepfather. This kid came out to fight me. No one asked any questions. We didn't put our hands on anybody. They're up here in this. They're up here in this porch. There's no steps or nothing. You can't get to them. We're down below. We're down below and we're looking up at them. And she's doing all the talking. I says, yes, man, we come here to talk about your son. Your son seems to have a problem beating up on my stepson. And then my ex just elevated everything worse. She goes off. You know, we've been going through this for what, 3 years now, and I'm blah, 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 blah. You know how women go off. She just goes off. And I'm looking at her like, I thought you was going to let me do the talking. That's why I wanted to leave you at home, you know. But the kid comes down and he stands in my face. And I looked at him and I laughed at him. And the grandmother didn't say anything. I'm the nicest one out of the bunch. I'm trying to peaceably talk to these people so that they can talk to their grandkids about them picking on my stepson. My stepson was taller. Him and this kid were about the same height. They were both a little bit taller than me. At 12 years old, my stepson was about 2 inches taller than me. His eyebrows came to my forehead at that time. And I couldn't believe this kid got in my face. When I was but it wasn't until I got older that I realized really how Americans feel about short people. Because when I was in high school, there was only certain people that would be honest with me. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of short jokes. There wasn't a whole lot of people, you know, and when a dude was bigger than me in high school, in middle school, it was like he was only bigger than me by like what, half a foot or something. You know, he was only like about, you know, the average kid in school was probably about 5'5", 5'8". If he was on the basketball team, he was somewhere between 5'7" and 6.5". But you know, there was enough short people to go around, I guess, in middle school and high school where, you know, there was guys who tried to pick on me in high school, and another short dude would come around and ask me if I wanted some backup, and I says, no, man, there's not going to be a fight. Okay? But if there is going to be a fight, I can handle it myself, you know. Let me tell you something real quick. I've never, ever had short man syndrome. I've never, ever felt depressed about my height. I don't look at myself in the mirror and see how short I am and say, you know, I've never done that all my life. I've never ever, you know, like maybe people who think that they're a man in a woman's body or vice versa might look in the mirror and get depressed. Maybe women that are fat might look in the mirror and get depressed. Maybe women that have bulimia problems or something, or maybe somebody that's got, you know, autism or I've never ever, being short is not a illness. It is not a handicap. Let me get that very clear. I know this, so this video doesn't take all night. Look, being short is not a handicap. It is not a condition. It's not even a social condition. It's not a social imbalance. It's not a political office. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It really is. I mean, the way you view short people is the way short people will treat you in the short run or the long run. I mean, there's people who treat me like gold. I treat them back like gold. There's people who smile at me. I smile back. There's people who talk to me. I love to talk to them. And I don't have to wait till they talk to me first or say hi to me first. When I feel like you look at me as I'm a normal person, then you will find me smiling. You will find me coming up to you and saying good morning and buying you a coffee and being sociable with you. But when you look at me like I'm invisible, like how long we've been working together and it's wrong for us to speak to each other, when you look at me like, oh, if you need directions how to get somewhere, ask this guy here. But I was the first responder to the scene. When you treat me like that, you're going to get someone who doesn't take you seriously because you don't take me seriously. You're going to push me into a shell to where I try to keep a distance between you and myself, and I try to stay out of your way, and hopefully you'll stay out of my way. That guy today that said what he said on my job today, if I make a habit of seeing him in my hospital, he knows, and I know, we all know, he's going to be on my poop list. Really is. And next time he says something to me, each time he says something to me, because he don't know me, he don't even know my name, he don't even know anything about me. All he knows is he saw a short guy in a uniform. Every time he speaks to me about my height, it's going to escalate to the point to where he's going to be banned eventually from the hospital. He's not going to be allowed in because he has a habit of insulting innocent civilians, one being an employee. He has a habit of coming in there and insulting innocent civilians. You say, well, talking to a guy about his height is not insulting. Is talking to a woman about her breasts, is that insulting? What if I saw a woman walking by me looking like she was having a miserable day, and I said, hey, excuse me, ma'am, I just got to ask, when was the last time you've been on your period? What if a fat guy walked by me, big old 6-7 foot tall fat guy, walked past me? I said, excuse me, sir, how much food do you absorb a day? I gotta ask you, are you going around the corner to the cafeteria? You look like you're going to, you look hungry, man. You look like you're going to the cafeteria. Come on, man. Like, come on, you can tell me, how much food do you absorb a day? I'm just curious. He probably just hit me. He probably just, just backhand me or something, Everybody knows, no matter how nice you put it, when you're trying to be a jackass, when you're, excuse my French, when you're trying to be an asshole. I don't have a low self-esteem about being short. But I do find myself in a box because I know I'm not socially accepted by over half the people in my life. How often do you walk past people every day, and then when you have a chance to finally sit down and get to know them, they want to talk about your height, or they want to talk about your breasts, or they want to talk about your weight, or they want to talk about, they can't believe how you have over 7 children. Okay, I used to tease my stepdaughter because she's got 4. Most of her friends don't have 4 kids. Okay? And I used to tease her until she got offended. And I said, okay, I quit. I quit. One more time. 4 kids, stop it. Okay, but I used to tease her. I got 7 grandkids. 4 of them are hers. Her brother got 2. Okay? And my oldest biological daughter has 1. But, I watched a bunch of videos today on the subject to cheer me up a little bit after this guy said this cockamamie crap to me. To cheer me up a little bit. And one guy was just going on and on and on about sex. Like, okay, in other words, short people don't go through anything until they start trying to hit on women for sex. And I'm thinking, before I even smile, I go through crap just for smiling at a lady. And sometimes I feel like people think I'm creepy because I'm friendly. This is here in closing, this is where I want to correct this man. He went to talking about confidence and all this stuff. Confidence is fine when you're confident in something that you do. Just like I'm confident in my guitar playing. I'm confident in my ukulele playing. I'm confident in my Bible reading and understanding of the Bible and all that kind of stuff. I'm confident about my job and how well I do it. I don't need some beautiful foxy lady to tell me everything, to confirm with myself that I am good at what I do. Neither do I need, my best friend to tell me that, because I do have confidence, because I understand that I go by the book. Therefore, I have confidence. But when your confidence involves somebody else on the other side, and you're giving and taking with that other person, don't tell me to have confidence around women that don't like me. Don't tell me to have confidence around women that the minute they see me, the minute their eyes meet mine, they have no respect for me. That's illogically sound. That's illogical. There's no such thing. I have confidence around women that allow me to make them laugh every day, that want to be in my circles, that want to hang out with me and all like that. The rest of the women, I have confidence in myself. I don't have confidence in my situation with them. I have confidence in myself. Just like I recently got accused of something that I didn't do, and I understand that the woman that accused me likes me. I know she likes me. But she threw me under the bus and lied about it because she was afraid of losing her job. So she turned in, she traded our friendship in to make herself look good, and she probably did use my height because she figured a guy like me, if that's what she did, and if that's what a lot of people think, a guy like me, yeah, he looks like he might sexually harass somebody. He looks like he would say something inappropriate. See what I mean? It's not a matter of confidence. It's a matter of respect on the other side. I can't make somebody like me. Just like I can't go out there and make white people like me just because I wear this uniform. Just because my pants ain't sagging off my back, off my behind. Just because I don't speak any Ebonics. Just because I work and I'm on time every day and I'm good at what I do. That doesn't promise me that white people are going to accept me and never treat me like a minority. Okay? And if somebody taller than me is just as nice as me and is on time every day, and he's nice and he's humble and he's giving and caring and forgiving, just like I am, who you going to pick, the short guy or the taller guy? I'm out. Signing off. Thank you, D-Roy Cruz, your Life Applications Officer. Please leave a comment on this one. I want to know and I want to help. In Jesus' name. Talk to you soon with more.